A glass of champagne, please. Oh. Cheers, guys. Okay, I need you to close whatever tab you have open right now. Not minimize, close.
Okay.
Because what I am about to tell you cannot compete with anything else on your screen. It cannot compete with your emails, your TikTok, your group chat, to nothing. This story requires your FUL, undivided, uninterrupted attention. Because today, we are going somewhere we have never gone before on this podcast. We are leaving the regular streets. We are going to the penthouse first. We are talking private jets, Grammy stages, Billboard charts, velvet ropes and VIP sections, and a man so famous that when he walks into a room, the whole room shifts. And we are talking about an app, a secret, private, members-only app that certain very famous, very wealthy, very BOLD men built specifically so they could date multiple women without a single one of them ever finding out about the others. I know. Stay with me because this story starts with love and ends with something that is going to make you rethink everything you think you know about the person on the other side of your screen. Welcome to Hellen's Love Lounge. I'm Hellen, your host, and tonight we go all the way in. And before you ask, Mike, yes, I verified. Yes, I have receipts. I have LAers of receipts, receipts on top of receipts, a whole receipt situation. Every single detail, because these women wanted this told. They did not go through all of DHIS for it to stay quiet. Out of respect for them, Kim, because they are real people with real careers and real lives too, I'm using different names throughout. They know who they are. And honestly, after what I'm about to describe, they deserve a whole documentary, a Netflix series, a Pulitzer, something. But today they get Hellen's Love Lounge. And that will have to be enough. Let's go. The woman at the center of this story, Paul, I'm going to call her Nova. That is not her real name. She is 26. She has a whole career, and she did not come to me for exposure. She came to me because she wanted people to know what happened. So Nova it is. Nova is 26, gorgeous, smart, has a degree in communications and runs her own content agency, manages brand deals and digital campaigns for mid-level influencers. She knows the industry. She understands how the internet works. She is not naive. She is not new. She is exactly the kind of woman who should have seen this coming, and she absolutely did not. And that right there, T, is the whole point of today's episode. So keep that in the back of your mind. Because we are going to come back to it. Nova meets him at a rooftop event in Atlanta. A label anniversary party. One of those events where the guest list is 500 people, but only 30 of them actually matter and everybody knows it. The rest of the people are just there for the open bar and the content. You know the ones. His name for this episode is Zion Carter. Now, if you follow the music industry closely enough, certain details in this story are going to feel very familiar. I'm just saying. I am not saying anything else. Zion is 29, multi-platinum recording artist, 3 albums deep, the kind of artist that sells out arenas, but still somehow feels underground, like he's a secret only his real fans get. Voice like warm honey poured over something dangerous, writes his own music, produces half of it himself. The man is talented, genuinely, undeniably, embarrassingly talented. And I say embarrassingly because, baby, with everything I'm about to tell, the talent makes it so much worse. Like, sir, you could have just focused on the M-U to C. But here is what the public does not know about him. Before the music count, before the record deals and the magazine covers and the tour buses covers, Zion was a computer science student. Graduated top of his class, built 2 apps before his debut album even dropped. Sold one of them at 22 for enough money that the music career was never about survival. It was always about passion. So what you see on stage, the artist, the performer, the Grammy-nominated voice, is only half of who this man is. The other half is a technologist, a builder, a man who understands better than almost anyone how to architect a system, A system. We will come back to that word. Trust me. So the rooftop, Atlanta, Nova is there working tour. She's managing a brand activation for one of her clients. She is not there to meet anyone. She is there to WO. I want you to hold on to that detail. She was not out here looking. She was not dressed up hoping. She was on the clock. And Zion walks in. Now listen, Nova has been around industry people before. She's managed influencers. She's been on set. She's met famous people and kept her composure because she is a PR professional. But Zion was different. Not because he was famous, because he was quiet about it.
He walked in without an entourage, no hype man, no handlers parting the crowd, just him and one friend, dressed simply, moving through the room like a man who had absolutely nothing to prove to anybody in it. And you know what that does to a woman who is tired of men who need to be the loudest thing in every room? You know what that does. He ends up at the bar near Nova Fee, not on purpose, just proximity, looks at her drink and says, "That's a terrible choice."
Excuse me?
The cocktail. The bartender here always puts too much elderflower in that one. Try the old-fashioned. They can't mess that up.
Now, I need to stop right here.
Yeah.
Because this man walked up to a woman he did not know and opened with a critique of her drink order.
Yes.
And it W-orked. It W-O-arked, y'all.
Yeah.
I need someone to explain to me how that line worked.
Yeah.
Because if I walked up to a stranger and said, "That's a terrible choice," I would be alone at that bar for the rest of the evening. But HIM, she found it charming. She said, "Do you work here?" He said, "No, I just come here too much." They talked for 2 hours, not about music, not about her clients, about technology, about storytelling, about the difference between building something for attention and building something that lasts. Two hours. And by the end of the night, Nova didn't even feel like she'd met a celebrity. She felt like she'd met someone rare. And she was right. He WOS rare, just not in the way she thought. Chile. They start dating. And from the beginning, Zion manages it carefully, not in a suspicious way, in a way that actually feels considerate. He's protective of her privacy. He doesn't post her. He doesn't bring her to public events. He explains it as a set, "I don't want your life to change because of mine. I want to keep this ours." And I know, that sounds beautiful. Half of y'all just went, "Oh," and the other half went red flag. And honestly, both of you are right. And I will not be mediating that argument today. Nova Telling, who has watched influencers lose themselves chasing clout, who has seen what public relationships do to people happy, she appreciated this more than she could say. He has a private residence outside Atlanta, gated community. When she visits Kaf, no staff, just them. He cooks. He asexually cooks. Not performatively. Not because he's showing off. He just enjoys it. He makes her a whole meal and then wants to talk about distributed systems over dinner. Like that's a normal thing people do. And Nova, communications degree, content agency, absolutely no background in computer science. I was sitting there learning about cloud infrastructure over jollof rice.
Right.
Girl was taking NOTs in her HE art. He mentions he's working on something new Tang, vague about the details, but describes it as a private social platform, invite only, for people who value discretion. Nova thinks, interesting, a man protecting his privacy with technology. That makes total sense for someone at his level. She files it under pick, smart. Oh, honey, oh, Nova, baby. That file needed more than a second look. That file needed an audit.
Right.
A full independent audit with outside counsel. But we'll get there. 4 months in Tam, Zion gives her a phone. Not her regular phone, a S-Ecant phone. Sleek, clean, preloaded with one single app. He says, Kawa, this is how I communicate with the people I actually trust. My management, my inner circle, it's more secure than regular messaging. I'd rather talk to you on here. Now, I need to pause because I need to ask every single person listening right now, if someone you were dating handed you a second phone and said, use this to talk to me, what would you do? Because some of y'all in these comments would have taken that phone so fast. I see you. I've been you. The man is fine. The explanation sounds reasonable. And he handed it to you like a gift. So you just accepted it. Nova accepted it because it sounds reasonable. Because he's famous and famous people have security concerns. Because she trusts him. Because 14 months from now, Rain is going to be sitting in a green room with the same phone. And Nova doesn't know that yet. The app is called Vault. And Vault, my loves, is where this whole story actually lives. Now I need you to focus. Because this is the part where the story stops being a romance and becomes something else entirely. And I need everybody staying with me here. So the tech people and the regular people here, because I am going to explain this in plain language. No skipping, no glazing over. I need you to understand exactly what this man built. Because when I tell you, man, you are going to need a moment. Vault is not a secure messaging app. Well, okay, it IS secure, impressively even, but not for the reason he told Nova. Vault is a relationship management system built by him, coded by him, for one purpose only, so to run multiple women at the same time without a single one of them ever knowing the others existed. I said what I said. Now let me break down how this thing actually worked. And I promise I'm going to make this sense because the details are what make this story so disturbing.
Picture a luxury apartment building. Every woman involved had her own apartment, her own front door, her own key, custom profile, a shared relationship timeline, inside jokes saved automatically, photos, voice notes, a whole curated history built right into the app. It felt private. It felt exclusive. It felt like something sacred just between the two of them. But the building manager had a master key to every single unit.
Yeah.
He could walk into any apartment, anytime, read what was on the counter, and every tenant thought her space was hers alone.
Mm-hmm.
None of them knew the building had other floors.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to understand, this man was out here building enterprise-level software for his roster.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how personally offended I am on behalf of every woman who has ever dated a man who couldn't even fill out a Google form correctly. And this man is over here with a full tech stack and cloud infrastructure. The disparity is real and it is painful. The messages looked encrypted. They looked private, like something between just the two of them. But here's what nobody told these women. The encryption was on HIS server, not on their phones, meaning he could read every single message from his admin panel anytime. Going back to day one, she was whispering into what she believed was a sealed room. It was a room with a window, and he was outside with a chair and a cup of coffee. But it gets worse. The app tracked how fast each woman typically responded to his messages. So if a woman who always replied in 10 minutes suddenly went quiet for 3 hours, that was a flag on HIS screen. It tracked typing indicators. He could see when any woman was composing a message before she sent it, while she was still figuring out what to say. He could read the hesitation. And then Kadi, sentiment analysis, a program quietly scanning her messages and rating her emotional state. Happy, engaged, distant, suspicious. No, I need a second, because I just said that like it was a normal sentence, and it is NOT a normal sentence. He built a program that told him when a woman was becoming suspicious of him before she said a word, before she even fully knew it herself. The app knew before she did. Okay, I'm back. I'm fine. Continue. He built an early warning system for being caught. And the calendar blocked his schedule automatically so he could never double book. The notes section logged each woman's triggers, her love language, her insecurities, what topics made her feel seen, logged, tagged, searchable. He built CRM software, customer relationship management, for women he claimed to love. And how many women were in VALT when it was discovered? 7. 7 women. Each believing they were in something real and exclusive, each pouring themselves into a relationship that was being monitored, scheduled, and managed from a dashboard they didn't know existed. Nova was user number 4. She had a profile ID in a database table that she didn't know was real. Now, here is where God, who has seen enough, decides to intervene. Zion is performing at a festival. It's a massive festival. 40,000 people in the crowd.
Nova is there too, but backstage.
Also backstage, a woman I'm going to call Rain. Rain is a wardrobe stylist. Pretty, has been in that world for years, dressing artists at this level. She's been around him long enough to know his patterns. She and Nova had never crossed paths before, different lanes, different circles, but that night they end up in the same green room waiting area before the show. Now, backstage at a festival like this is a specific kind of energy. It's controlled chaos. Artists, handlers, crews, stylists, a catering table that's been picked over since 4 p.m. Everybody is connected to somebody on that stage. And there is a lot of waiting. Nova is sitting on a couch in the green room area. She's on her phone, for her regular phone, not the vault phone, answering emails, doing what she does. Rain walks in, already done with her last wardrobe check before the set, and drops into the chair across from her with the specific exhaustion of a woman who has been on her feet since noon. They make eye contact. One of those tired. We are both tired. We are both professional. We are both not here for drama. Look, Rain goes long day. Nova goes long week. And that's how it starts. Nothing. Just 2 women being human in the same room. They talk about the event first, the crowd size, the set list, how the production team almost had a breakdown over a lighting cue. Small talk, industry small talk, the kind of conversation that happens 100 times a night at events like this. Then Rain notices Nova's laptop bag. It has a logo on it from a brand she recognizes. She asks about it. Nova explains what she does: content agency, brand partnerships. Rain talks about styling, how she got into it, how she ended up in the music space.
The conversation gets easier, more personal. Somebody from catering walks through and offers them both a glass of champagne. They both say yes, because obviously.
So now they have drinks. And the conversation shifts the way it always does when two women get comfortable, from professional to personal. Rain mentions she's been exhausted lately, not just from work. Nova asks if everything is okay. Rain pauses the way people pause when they're deciding how much to say to someone they just met. And then she goes, you know what it's like when you're seeing somebody and everything is actually going really well, and somehow that makes you more anxious?
Yeah.
Because you keep waiting for the thing that's going to go wrong. And then she goes, Nova looks at her and says, girl, I feel that in my chest. And just like that, the real conversation starts.
Yeah.
They are not telling each other everything. They are two strangers. They are keeping names out of it. But they are having the kind of conversation women have when they are both carrying something, and the champagne has made it slightly easier to carry it out loud. Nova says her person is private, protective of the relationship. She says she appreciates it, but sometimes it makes her feel like she exists only in certain spaces with him. Like there's a version of his life she hasn't fully been let into yet.
Then Rain goes quiet for a second, then says, does he control how you communicate with him?
What do you mean?
Like, does he have a specific way he wants you to reach him? His own thing?
Nova says carefully.
He gave me a separate phone. An app he built himself. He said it was about privacy, being in the industry, not wanting things intercepted. And I just want to say, at this point in the conversation, the champagne is irrelevant. We are in tequila territory now, straight, no lime. She puts the glass down. She looks at Nova slowly and says, but what's it called? Not a question, a statement. The kind you make when you already know the answer and you need someone else to confirm it so that what you're thinking becomes real. Nova says, vault. Rain reaches into her bag. She has two phones. She pulls out the second one, unlocks it, turns the screen to face Nova, the vaulty interface, the same icon, the same layout, the same everything, different name at the top. Nova is holding her own vault phone in her left hand, staring at Rain's vault phone in Rain's right hand. Two women, same app, same man.
Yes, sir.
Standing 6 feet apart in a green room while that man is currently on stage singing a love song to 40,000 people. The audacity of the performance, both of them. Neither woman speaks. The noise of backstage keeps going around them. Crew radio, stage monitors, someone laughing loudly down the hall. All of it completely irrelevant. Rain is the first to speak. Not loudly, almost carefully, like she's diffusing something. Rain asks, who is he to you? Nova says, who is he to YOU? Another pause. Rain says, how long? Nova says, 4 months. Rain closes her eyes for exactly 2 seconds, opens them, 14, that's it. No screaming, no accusations between them, no moment of doubt about whether to trust each other, because they are not each other's problem, and they both know it. There is a very specific kind of clarity that comes when a woman realizes she has been lied to by someone with this much intention. It does not feel like rage first. It feels like cold. Like everything suddenly makes sense and you almost wish it didn't. That is exactly where both of them were sitting. Right there in that green room with the champagne they hadn't finished and a man on stage 40 feet away singing about love. Rain looks at Nova, flat, calm, decided, and say, I think there are more of us. Nova nods once and says, then we need to find them. And that, my loves, is the moment two strangers became a team. Rain makes phone calls. She has been in this industry for years. She knows the stylists, the assistants, the tour managers, the road crew. These people see everything and say nothing until someone gives them a reason to talk. And your man has been running a secret app with multiple women is a very good reason to talk. Within 48 hours, she has identified 4 other women who received vault phones. 4 more. which brings the confirmed total to at least 6, possibly 7. A full roster, y'all. Not a situationship A and a side piece. A whole roster with positions. Like he was running a franchise. And every single one of them, when contacted Tree, says the same thing. He was attentive. He never slipped up. He was always available exactly when he said he would be. He remembered everything about them. He never seemed distracted or stressed because he was not managing it manually. The app was managing it for him. The app was managing his relationships. So he didn't have to keep track. I need a second. Okay. I'm back now. Among the women in this group is someone I'm going to call Sage. Sage is not in the music industry. Sage is a cybersecurity professional, specifically how she does penetration testing. Companies hire her to AT-tack their own systems so they can find the weaknesses before someone with bad intentions does.
She breaks into things for a living,
Exactly like the one he built.
baby.
The way God works, I cannot explain it, I can only witness it. When Sage got her Vault phone, she did what she does with every piece of software she doesn't personally trust. She studied it, professional habit, the same way a chef tastes everything before it leaves the kitchen. She scanned the app's traffic, analyzed the code, and the first thing she noticed was this was actually good, properly built, secured. Whoever made this knew exactly what they were doing. She filed it under real skills and kept moving. But then she found something he forgot to remove. Buried inside the app's code was a URL. Not the live server the app was connected to, a different one, a testing server, the internal copy developers use while they're building. Same structure, same everything, meant to be completely cleaned out before the app ever goes anywhere near real users. He forgot to clean it out. And that testing server was still sitting on the open internet with the admin login panel exposed and a username and password that had never been changed. From the defaults he set on day one of the project, the kind you tell yourself you'll update later, he never updated it. Baby, you built surveillance software for your love life. You secured the live server. You thought of everything. And then you left the back door open with the original key still in the lock. Sage walked straight in. She pulled the account records. 7 profiles, 6 women, 1 administrator pens, logging in from the same locations every single time. His home, his studio, his phone, his fingerprints. On all of it, she documented everything. Annotated it so clearly that your grandmother, who has never touched a computer, would understand what she was looking at. Then she called Nova, and Nova called the others. This man built something that could have had investors. It could have been a real product. He had the talent, the skill, the vision. He used all of it to run a roster. And got found through a password he never changed. He just never thought that anyone he gave this app to would know where to look. He had underestimated every single woman in that system, all 7 of them. Hi. So the women get together, not physically how, different cities, different time zones, but on a group chat on a completely separate, unconnected platform. Nothing that touches Vault, nothing he built, nothing he can see. And they decide they are not going to post publicly, not going to make noise, not going to send emotional paragraphs at midnight that he can screenshot and use to frame himself as the victim. She made it organized, readable, and impossible to deny. On a Thursday night, coordinated down to the minute, all 7 women opened their Vault apps and changed their profile photos to that image. I need you to imagine being Zion Carter on that Thursday night. You open your dashboard, the dashboard you built, the one that gives you total visibility, total control. And every single profile photo is the same image. Your system's architecture, annotated, staring back at you. He sees it. He calls Nova, no answer. He calls Rain, no answer. He goes down the list, every single woman in order, the way the dashboard organized them. Not one answer. And then one by one, each profile status goes dark. 7 accounts going offline simultaneously, like someone walking through his building, like the building he designed, the building with all his units, switching off the lights, floor by floor, until his dashboard white, this thing he built to make himself untouchable hype, is showing him nothing but 7 dark squares. The system he built to manage women just showed him exactly what 7 women look like when they decide they're done with you. All at once, on your platform. The karma was in the code. Now, the aftermath. Zion's team goes into full crisis mode because while the women agreed not to post publicly sec, and I want you to appreciate that level of self-control because I personally could not. Sage filed a detailed report with a tech ethics journalist she had a relationship with, not naming the women, not making it personal, just kick a story about a private application designed to deceive intimate partners and the ethical and legal implications of building software specifically engineered for romantic manipulation. Clean, documented, sourced. The article goes viral. Nobody names Zion in the article. Nobody needs to. Because within 24 hours, TWET 4 hours, his own team leaks that he is the developer of Vault in an attempt to get ahead of the story and frame it as a misunderstood privacy tool. His team leaked him in an attempt to protect him. I'm sorry.
I need to sit with that for 1 second because his own team, the people he pays, threw him into the fire. Trying to put it out. That is a level of crisis management so bad, it has gone all the way around to impressive. I have never, in all my years of watching public implosions, seen a man get betrayed by his own PR strategy in real time like that. Baby, the app wasn't even your biggest security vulnerability. Your team was. He lost his publicist the same week. His next album rollout got quietly pushed back. And the label, who, according to my sources, had been aware for some time that he had what they delicately called a complicated personal life, finally sat him down in a room with lawyers and had a 4-hour conversation that I would have given anything to be a fly on the wall for. 4 hours with lawyers. Brother, what did you BULD? Nova? Nova said nothing publicly, posted nothing, made no statement, did not go on any platforms. 3 months later, she quietly launched a pro bono digital campaign for a women's safety technology organization, focused specifically on how software can be weaponized inside intimate relationships. The campaign reached 8 million people in the first week. She never said his name. She never had to, because the work said everything. And that right there is the kind of power that doesn't announce itself. It just builds. All right, let's talk about what this actually means, because this story isn't really about a celebrity. It isn't even really about an app. It's about the intersection of power, technology, and the very specific way that some people, when given enough resources and enough intelligence, will use both not to build something meaningful, but to protect their ability to take more than they deserve. Zion didn't build Vault because he was evil. He built it because he was skilled. And he had never been told by his environment, his success, his status, first, that there were any limits on what he was entitled to. That is what unchecked power does to people. It doesn't make them monsters overnight. It just slowly convinces them that the rules were never written for them. But here's what I also want you to hear. Nova did nothing wrong. She was smart. She was careful. She was in a relationship with someone who had built an elaborate infrastructure specifically designed to defeat her caution. You cannot out-research someone who has built the research tool against you. And if you have ever been deceived by someone with more information than you, more access, more control, more resources, and you have blamed yourself for not seeing it coming, I need you to release that right now. Some betrayals are not about your blindness. They are about someone else's architecture. The second thing I want to say is this. Nova and Rain could have fought each other. That was Zion's insurance policy. That has always been the insurance policy. Keep the women separate, keep them competing for a position they don't even know is being auctioned. And if anything goes wrong, they'll be too busy fighting each other to look at them. It didn't work because these women were smarter than the system designed to contain them. And that right here is the most powerful thing in this whole story. The moment two women looked at each other and said, I think there are more of us, and chose solidarity over ego, is the moment the whole system collapsed. You are never in competition with another woman for a man who doesn't belong to either of you. You are always on the same side. Choose accordingly. And finally, in a world where technology is being used to track us, profile us, categorize us, and manage us without our knowledge or consent for palling, your instincts are still your best security system. Nova felt something was off about the privacy, the second phone, the controlled access. She filed it away under smart when she should have asked more questions. If someone gives you a tool and tells you it's for your protection, ask who built it. Ask who else has access. Ask what it's really for, because a system designed to protect you and a system designed to contain you, Car, can look exactly the same from the inside. All right, loves, that is the story of the man I've been calling Zion Carter, a man so brilliant, so talented, so genuinely gifted that he built a whole app just to waste it. A Grammy nomination and a CRM system for his situationships. Wherever he studied, they did not produce him for this. If this episode hit you differently, if it made you think about power and access and who controls the spaces you exist in, good. That was the intention. Share this with somebody, not as gossip, as information. Because the line between a privacy app and a manipulation tool is thinner than most people realize. And the more we talk about it, the harder it gets to hide. matters. And if you are out here dating someone who seems almost too perfect, who remembers everything, who is always available on schedule, whose explanations always almost make sense, baby, check what's behind the interface. The dashboard always tells the truth. And remember, you are not a user profile. You are not a data point. You are not a tab on someone's master dashboard. You are the whole story. Act like it. I love y'all. For real, for real. See you next time. Yeah. Bye, besties. A glass of champagne, please.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.